Jita Padam. Anyway, carry on.
Very nice.
Nice.
Namaste, everyone. Welcome to our gentle yoga. This type of gentle yoga is designed as a palliative yoga. Palliative yoga is primarily a preventive style, but it can have therapeutic effects also. This particular yoga is designed for stress reduction and to increase the energy of communication in body systems, which stimulates better immune system and body's repair mechanism. One feels better and minor issues can get resolved. Yoga brings good health of mind and body, inner awareness, and a sense of cosmic connection. Regular discipline practice is key. So if you miss a day, please use the video recording on YouTube at Life in Yoga Rajan. Yoga is not a physical exercise and it's not a religious practice either. So people with any religious background can do this. Some points to note. This type of gentle yoga can be done sitting on a chair or on the floor. Remember to keep your spine straight but not stiff at all times. If you want, you can support your back. But do these practices gently, smoothly, and without jerks. Slower is better. Visualize the part of the body being exercised for maximum benefit. Follow instructions to avoid adverse reactions. There should be no strain, and you should do it within your capacity. Make sure the breathing is slow and smooth. If anything causes pain or discomfort, please stop immediately, avoid the practice, and seek clarification. If you have any questions regarding personal problem, please send an email to the email address provided in the reminder email. And remember, liability is entirely yours. Thank you.
Namaste, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving. And there has been a suggestion by Srijit about meditating on certain sutras of the Yoga Sutras. So in any case, we will begin with 3 ohms. Let's take a deep breath in. So today we expect probably less number of people to join us. So shall we keep to our usual thing of the Yoga Sutras, or shall we begin with some question answers?
We can begin with question answers if you want, and then.
Okay. So here we have people from multiple areas. Okay, that's fine. So what I will do is I can go straight to the Yoga Sutras, but then we'll be missing a lot of folks who are not in here today in the US because of Thanksgiving, or maybe in other places too. Okay. So I'll do a quick recap. That is, in the first chapter, we did the introductory overview. Patanjali gives a quick idea of what yoga and Yoga Sutra is all about. And then after that, we began chapter 2, where he goes into the details in the beginning about what constitutes the root programs, which are called kleshas in the language, klesha being blemishes or whatever. So in the in the language of the olden times, if you think in terms of existence lacking purity, so those are called impurities. So with that as the view, Patanjali starts the second chapter by saying, we are all programmed beings here who are born to work out our programs through the body as an instrument. And realizing that the body is only an instrument with the intention of purification and experiencing the samadhi state, or the state by which you can develop intuitive awareness and self-realization. That is the purpose of yoga, as Patanjali points out. And that is the yoga of action, or Kriya Yoga, as he defines in Sutra in chapter 2. And he goes on to say the 5 types of program elements within us, which make us who we are avidya, asmita, raga, dvesha, abhinivesha. And these we mapped over to the Vedantic concept as of avidya, manas, and actually in Vedantic concept, buddhi is the opposite of avidya. So buddhi, manas, and manas, buddhi, and ahankara. Manas is the raga, dvesha, and ahankara is the asmita and abhinivesha. So these are the way in which they map with each other. So now he defined for us that each of these, what they are, and he particularly mentions avidya, or the lack of awareness of what existence is all about, is the source of all the problems, in the sense, once that is cleared, then in which case the role of ego, the asmita and the abhinivesha, and the role of the mind, the attractions and aversions, will no longer be able to take control of you once you realize the nature of existence. So this is what he told us in sutras from 3 to 9, where he explained all of these things. So today we can go on to sutra number 10. In sutra number 10, he's referring to now these kleshas, or the impurities. When he says the word te means they. Pratiprasava heyaha sukshmaha. Prasava means to give birth. Pratiprasava means going backward, going inward. Heyaha means to oppose. Sukshmaha in a subtle way. So what he says is, all these impurities, or the program elements within, instead of letting them express out, you take it in, and that is in a subtle way, and that is how you oppose it. Dhyana heyaha tadvritayaha. By being in dhyana, which means dhyana is the state where you go into, there is no mind, when everything goes blank. That is the state of dhyana. Dhyana opposes the tadvritaya, means their vrittis, or their activation, because these are the 5 impurities that creates the activations which were mentioned in the first chapter. So by being in the state of mindlessness, dhyana, you're able to oppose the activation of these 5 impurities or kleshas. Klesha mulaha karma ashayoho drishta adrishta janma vedaniyaha. So what is the root of the experiences of all these birth? So drishta means seen, adrishta means not seen, janma is birth, vedaniyaha is experience. Okay, so what is it the cause of that? The cause of that is klesha mula karma ashayoho. Mula means the root. Klesha, or the impurities, are the root. So this is the product of the first creation. Thereafter, by reactivity, we create karmas. And so karma ashayo. So you have both the impurities from the first birth as the root, and then you add on to it your own reactivities, which form the new programs, the karmas. And these together, resting on this ashayo, supported by that, you have experiences of life that are seen and unseen. In other words, the life that is you're going through and life that may come in the future of which you don't know. Then Sutra number 13. Sati mule tad vipako jatiyayu bhogaha. Sati refers to end of life, mule with that as the root. Tad vipako. Tad is that. What is that referring to? The klesha mula and the karma, klesha karma. Tad vipako, that. Vipako means fruitions. That fruitions. And what does it give you? Jati ayu bhogaha. Jati means the circumstances of your birth. That is what jati means. Ayu means longevity. And bhoga means the experiences, whatever you experience. Let's be very clear, because here we have a large number of people of Indian background. Very often jati is interpreted as a race, okay, or community and those kinds. What jati literally means is whatever you're born with that you cannot remove yourself from. So it can mean race, it can mean the family circumstances. If you have a birthmark, that is also your jati. So if you're born with a certain kind of hair or whatever, so anything that is part of the birth circumstances that you cannot change, that is what is called jati. Okay? Te hlada paritapa phalaha punya punya hetutvat. Te, that is these experiences that you have in that life, the jati, ayu, and the bhoga, these are the ones that are referred to in te. Hlada means that which makes you happy. Paritapa means that which makes you to be regretful. And these are the fruit of that. And this happens because of the sense of punya apunya hetutvat. Because hetutvat means because of the sense of something being good and something being not good. Something being, punya is often said to be virtuous or something. You can think of it as just good and bad. So the moment you associate anything as good and bad, that is where it comes as you have the sense of great happiness in having it, or you have regrets in having it. And so that becomes the outcome which forms new karmas. So next we go on to Sutra number 17, Sutra number 15, right? Yeah, 15. Parinama tapa sanskara dukkhai gunavritti virodhacha dukkham eva sarvam vivekinaha. Vivekinaha means people who are wise. And what they come to a conclusion? They come to the conclusion, dukkham eva sarvam. Dukkham means misery. Indeed, sarvam means all. So the wise people come to the conclusion everything is misery. And why? He says because parinama tapa sanskara dukkhai gunavritti virodhat. So what happens is, once you're reacting to whatever you experience as good or bad, then what happens? Parinama is the result. Tapa sanskara means, tapa means whatever makes you regretful. Sanskara is the patterns or programs that form from it. They also produce, dukkha is misery. Gunavritti virodhat. What happens is, guna is the energy that creates everything, a flow of energy that manifests whatever comes in front of you. Vritti is the activation, and virodhat means to oppose it. So anytime you come across something that is not, that is miserable, you're mentally not liking it, you're opposing it. And when you do that, what do? In turn, you create a different reaction, the reaction that is creating a new program within you. And so the learned people say all of this is simply misery, because it's going to come back to you. Sutra number 17. Drashtra drishyayo sanyogo heya hetu. Hetu is the cause, heya is to oppose. What is the cause to be opposed? The cause to be opposed is that whatever you observe, that associating with that association is something you need to oppose. So in other words, only if you associate yourself with what you see, you will have a reaction. Prakasha, by the way, this is very, very common. And if you don't react, somebody will say you're not compassionate, you don't know how to enjoy, right? Everybody is having a party and you're looking with a straight face. Yeah, and so people will say, what is this? The other side is there is some tragedy and everybody is very tearful and looking morose, and you're the person who are looking with a straight face, right? So that's what it's saying, not to react. Now, next sutra 18 says, Prakasha Kriya Sthiti Sheelam Bhuta Indriyatmakam Bhoga Apavargartham Drishyam. What is that? Drishyam means the sight. Bhoga Apavargartham means, Bhoga means what you're experiencing, feeling good or experiencing. You make that Apavargartham means you make that irrelevant. In other words, anytime Varga means anytime you categorize it or good or bad, you make it as something not defining it at all. So you don't call it good or bad or anything. Whatever you experience, you think of it as okay. You don't even classify it as good or bad. That is purely the seeing it as it is. So what happens is, he's explaining over here that there are three types of activations, or what activation is not the right word. Three types of energy flows that happen in anything that is in the created matter and senses. Anything that is in created matter and senses, in the core of it, the three kinds of energy movements are: Prakasha means enlightened, Kriya means what you would call as hyperactive, Sthiti means established or sluggish or just being static. So the three, Sheelam is nature, or you can call it as energy flow. And where are these energy flows? Bhuta means anything related to matter or that is created. Indriya referring to senses. Atmakam means as its core. Atmakam of anything is the core of it. So the core of anything that is created and is in the senses is, in the core of that, you have three kinds of energy flows. That is enlightened, that is smooth, and then hyperactive, and then inert, or just being static. These three types of energies is what describes the nature of existence and the senses. And whatever experiences come out of it, when you make them irrelevant, in the sense you don't react to them, you don't even classify them in your mind, that is the nature of being a pure seer of whatever is happening. So let me pause over here. And because here Patanjali is getting into the idea you should not be reactive at all. Is that clear for everyone, or is there any question over here before I go to Sutra 19, 20, and 21? Okay, then I'll go on to 19.
I didn't understand the 16. Heyang Dukkham Anagatam.
Yes.
What exactly it is?
The heyam is to oppose the dukkha, that is the misery that has not yet come. Anagatam is not yet come. And how do you oppose something that has not yet come? Because you have to refer to the previous sutra. He is telling you that Vivekinaha, that is the wise people, are saying everything is miserable, because what happens is, because of the result of reactivity of things that are miserable, that causes programs that will come back. And when they come back, you again oppose the activation of that. And that reactivity creates a cycle of more and more miseries that come. And relative to what you see in Sutra 15, in 16, he is saying that you have to oppose all the miseries that have not yet even surfaced. They have not yet come. So it is in that context he's mentioning. Is that
okay.
clear, Ashish?
Yeah, it's you have to refer to the 15th. Okay,
Exactly.
yeah.
That is why I keep saying in the Yoga Sutra, you have to read it in paragraphs, not in individual sentences. Even though these are called sutras, it is not like one statement is self-revealing. It is in the context of the flow.
Right, gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Okay, Sutra number 19. Vishesha Avishesha Linga Matra Alingani Guna Parvani. Guna Parvani means the spectrum of the gunas or the energy flow. Okay? The spectrum of the gunas or the energy flow, what is their nature? Well, Vishesha means specific. Avishesha means non-specific. Linga means indicative. Linga Matra means indicative alone. Alingani, that means Alinga means having not being indicative either. That is the nature of the spread of the gunas. So in other words, the gunas are the energy activation of all the underlying programs. When energy is moving through it, they come in the form of gunas. It's simply vibrations. So the vibrations can be specific, non-specific, indicative, or non-indicative. And that is the nature of vibrations any case, right? And then Drishta Drishimatraha Shuddha api pratyaya anupashyaha. So anupashyaha is means what? Anu means what leads to. Pashya means to be a seer. What leads to be you to be a pure seer is drashta drishmatra. Whatever you're seeing is sight alone. Shuddha api pratyaya. Pratyaya means what reflects back into you. Pratyaya is what it is. It is basically, you can call it reactivity. So the reactivity or thoughts or conviction, shuddha api. Shuddha means effectively it is completely cleansed. That is the nature of being. That is the nature of the flow of observing. Tadhartha eva drishyasya atma. That alone, tadhartha, tadhartha eva means that alone, or the meaning of that alone is the core of what you see. Okay, drishyasya atma means core of what you see. In other words, Patanjali is again saying here, by being a pure observer, you cannot accumulate more karmas that leads to more lifetime. And then kritartham prati nashtam api anashtam tad anya sadharanatvat. Normally, actually we'll go through this again, but because I want to complete till a certain point over here, I'll just tell you the meaning. Kritartham means what you do, a purposeful act that you commit. Towards any purposeful act that you commit, prati means towards that. Nashtam api anashtam. You can think of it as profitable or unprofitable. Tad anya sadharanatvat. Normally that is what normally is the different view. So normally people in every act they do, they have an intent, whether this is going to be useful or not useful, profitable or not. That is the normal different way of looking at it. They don't look at it as a pure seer, just as a observer, as was described till Sutra number 21. And why is this they do that? Because Sutra number 23 tells you, Swami Shaktyoho Swarupa Upalabdhi Hetu Sanyogaha. Sanyogaha means association. And what is the association they have? They have the association, the cause of whatever they attain. Cause is Hetu, Upalabdhi is what they attain. So the cause of what they attain is because Sa Swami Shaktyoho. Whatever effort they put in, whatever effort I put in, that is what I reap. That kind of a thinking is there in that association. And that is the reason people think in terms of acts which they commit as being profitable or not profitable. And why do people behave like that? They behave like that because in Sutra number 24, it tells you, Tasya hetuhu avidya. The cause of that is avidya. Tad abhava sanyoga abhavo hanam tadrishe kaivalyam. When that sense of association is not there, you're liberated and free. Viveka khyatihi avilaprava hana upayaha. It is because of that realization that you would call it as that wisdom, viveka. Because of that, aviplava means being non-reactive, is the upaya, is the solution to get out of the cycle of creating more karmas. Tasya saptadha pranta bhumihi prajna. Of that, there are 7-fold boundaries to cross before you reach the state of prajna or intuitive awareness. Saptadha means 7-fold. Pranta means anything that has a boundary. Typically, many people understand pranta means to be a province or something, but anything that has a pranta bhumi means anything that has a demarcated segment. That's what it means. Once you cross the 7 boundaries, that's when you attain the state of prajna or intuitive awareness. And then he goes on to say, yoga anga anushtanat ashuddhi chaye jnana deepti aviveka khyate. How does this happen? As a result of the wisdom coming from following the program of yoga, all the parts of yoga. Yoga anga means parts of yoga. And in following that, ashuddhi chaye means the impurity decays and leaves you. And out of that comes jnana deepti. Jnana deepti means enlightenment comes. And that is what results in you being able to reach across the 7-fold. And what are the 7 boundaries to be crossed to attain the prajna? Well, he tells you this is done by the 8-fold yoga process: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, samadhayaha, ashtav angani. The yoga anga, or the parts of yoga referred to in Sutra 28, are these 8-fold: yama, niyama, asana, pranayama, pratyahara, dharana, dhyana, and samadhi. Samadhi is the one which is the 8th one which you get after crossing the 7 boundaries. And so those are in samadhi state, prajna or intuitive awareness dawns. That is how these sutras are to be understood and read. So I'll stop over here. We'll go through this in more detail, tomorrow. But then any questions over here before we go on to the regular session?
One clarification, Dr. Rajan.
Go ahead.
Please. This is Radha. So my thought got stuck at 2.10, where you explained that instead of expressing, if there is a conflict in outside world, instead of expressing it, you just keep it in and you meditate. Is that what you said? Am I understanding it correctly?
Actually, the idea is tasya heyaha aprasava tasya what is that? Te pratiprasava heyaha sukshmaha, right?
Yes, sir.
So Te refers to the 5 program entities, the 5 kleshas. So what you do is you actually, in a very subtle way, you don't react to it. Okay. And I'll give you an example of it. Okay. So what happens is, as part of your programmed entities, the concept of like and dislike may be part of you, right?
Yes.
So sorry, Radha, you're going to say something?
No, I'm just listening.
Yeah. So what happens is, if you look at, if you meet people, each person carries a different vibration. Okay.
Yeah.
And so you may have a sense you like someone, you don't like somebody else. Okay. So what happens is, if you kind of basically don't let that express itself and let it be within, slowly the reactivity begins to fade off, right?
So by meditation, like not so there it can be other forms of meditation also. Like for some it is singing or any art form.
Actually, in this particular case, it does not tell you specifically.
Okay.
Actually, it is in the next sutra that it tells you meditation is the way in which you can prevent the activation of these programs, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm, okay.
Your question was not answered.
No, yeah, actually, I'm thinking in many ways, like if for me personally, I feel that like singing helps me.
What is that?
Like singing will help me, which is an expressive art. And I have read in other ways that in other like other philosophies or other books that you have to have a set of expressive arts and um,
See,
receptive arts.
your point of view
Yes, sir.
comes from the side of what is called the modern psychology. In modern psychology, they say that you have to express, and if you don't express, it'll fester within you. Okay, so I understand what you're saying about the expressive nature. Now, the thing is, you see, from a yoga perspective, there are 2 sides. One side of it is what you're born to do as your dharma. And this body has been born to do a role that is for a larger cause than simply we thinking it's for me. Okay? And the other side of it is what you call as reactivity to the program elements that are there within you. Right? So what happens is, anytime you're looking at something, the like and dislike I gave you as an example, and you immediately kind of don't let the like and dislike manifest. Okay? So in other words, what happens is, if you look at it in terms of expressive nature, your singing is not a good comparison. The good comparison is when you're going to express, you see somebody whom you don't like and you tell them, I don't like your face. Whereas on the other hand, somebody else whom you like and you say, I love you. Okay? So that is the expressive nature that don't do, Patanjali is saying. So it is not comparable to your view of singing.
Okay.
Okay. Bharatji, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Just a couple of questions. Actually, in one of the sutras, it says the wise person recognizes everything as misery.
Yeah.
And then later on, I think it says the enlightened person does not see the difference between misery and happiness, or in other words, does not let it affect you.
Yes.
So is that distinction being drawn on purpose between wise and enlightened?
No, this is we have to read it in the context of the continuity of the previous sutra. Okay, so let's look over here. That the point comes here in sutra number. Okay, sutra number 15. Okay, so in sutra number 15, what happens is the point made is that any time when miserable things happen, when you react to it, it causes programs, and that reaction in turn becomes the source of more miserable events that will manifest later in the form of karmas, right? And so what happens is reacting to anything that is miserable is what the wise person understands. It's reacting to anything miserable is always always miserable is the conclusion that the wise person comes to. You follow what I'm saying? In this context over there, it only refers to reacting to any
Yeah.
miserable situation.
Right, right. No, makes sense now. Then,
Yeah.
then the two are congruent.
Exactly.
Yep. I have one just very quick follow-on question. The ability to react or not to react to something perceived as pleasurable or not, I think also probably depends on the proximity. So for example, if a black hole is happening somewhere in the cosmos, everybody doesn't sit down and think about it and say, oh, misery, that's a bad thing, because it's so removed. But when something happens more immediate context, then people tend generally to react more. In other words, somebody walks up to you and says, I hate you. You tend to react to that more than if somebody halfway around the world says, I hate all, people of whatever. So is that something that also plays into this whole idea of not reacting, but just listening to it, observing it, letting it go?
See, that is largely because, as another point mentioned over there, people who are close to you can affect you. Therefore, what it is you have the sense of, in your interaction, something is useful or not useful. Somebody who's halfway around the other world, they're not going to impact you. Whereas on the other hand, if you have a neighbor who is looking, threateningly at you, then in which case that may not be your comfort zone, and that's why you react. And the point being made over here is, it is really just reactivity itself will create no more new programs within. Think of the following. You see, if you look at the cycle of events of what we are looking at going through, right? Now, you know all about this Black Lives Matter movement that has started, right? And we all know that there is, if you look logically at everything that is happening, there is a very much higher proportion of African Americans who are being, killed and put into jails and things like that. Okay. Now, if you look in terms of the cycle of number of violent situations that happen over there, and if you look at it, now obviously, when this man, Ferguson, the one in Minnesota and Minneapolis, right? The person who, that cop who put his knee on his neck and suffocated him to death, right? Now, that, white police officer had a lot of anger inside that person, right? And why would that anger have come? Well, what happens is, if you look in terms of how people behave, very recently, I'm trying to think where it was, perhaps in Philadelphia or somewhere, there was a young African-American boy who stole somebody's car, or actually, they used the word carjacked it, okay? And and then he was driving away with the car, but the cops gave chase and he got into a dead end, okay? And so when he got into a dead end, he had nowhere to go, but he had to get out of the car and run through, and he tried to go over a wall or wherever. And when he tried to run, what happened was the cop coming from behind, he shot him, okay? So, shooting that boy over there, I often think why people have to go and shoot in the body if they're trained well enough to shoot at the knee and, kneecap the person, really, that is good enough to catch that person, right? Or maybe they should give them, like, what do they call it? Those bullets which don't kill, plastic bullets or whatever, this thing. So something that will immobilize the person. But whatever it is, this man did something like that. Now, if you look at number of cases of the reactivity that happens, it is largely because the it is largely because you will find the amount of guns that are out there on the street because of the Second Amendment, people wanting to own guns and walking around with it. What happens? In reaction to that, every cop is afraid that, what if the other person pulls a gun on them? So they would rather fire first than, wait to be a victim themselves, right? So there are so many things. If you look at the reactivities that are happening, they're all a matter of fear and reactivity that comes. Now, by the same token, you see, when a person is, when an African American is looking to steal and get away and all of these things, think of whatever the family background is very well known. If you have educated parents, it's highly likely you will also get very good education, okay? But if you don't have educated parents, if you have drug addict parents that you're with, there is a very good chance you'll become the same way, because that's what you're seeing as the role model, right? So it is unfortunately in the socioeconomic, cycle, how people fall victim to it. These kinds of things happen, and people, when they judge, they react to it. Now, there are many people who get out of it, out of the cycle. And these are the people who don't react to it. They are able to get out of the cycle, right? So, but anyway, so reactivity breeds this and it goes in cycles is the point over there, right?
Okay, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So now let's go on to our regular session. So we will begin with the chakra vibrations, and what happened? One second. Oh. Okay. So we'll begin with chakra vibrations, and then we won't have too much time for anything else. We'll go straight into the spinal alignment. So bring the awareness to the perineum. I don't think there is anybody new, so you know where it is. Press the little finger with the thumb, and we will do the mantra LAM focused at the perineum. LAM. Release the finger and continue. Now bring the awareness 1 inch above the perineum, behind where we urinate, and there we press the ring finger with the thumb and do the mantra VAM. Take a deep breath in. VAM. Release the finger and continue. One last time. Now bring the awareness behind the navel, the middle of the body, and here we do Ram as we press the middle finger with the thumb. Take a deep breath in. Ram. Excuse me. Ram. 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 Excuse me. So now release the fingers and continue with Ram. 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 Last time. Ram. Now bring the awareness in between the breasts and the middle of the body, and here we do the sound yum, and we press the index finger with the thumb. Take a deep breath in. Yum. 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 Release the fingers and continue. Yum. Bring the awareness to the throat. Here we do the sound hum, thumbs up mudra. Hum. Hum. Release the hand and continue. Hum. Now bring the awareness to the in between the head, in the middle of the head. So there we do the mantra chum, thumbs up mudra. Chum. 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 Release the hands and continue. Chum. Bring the awareness to the top of the head. We do Om, again thumbs up mudra. Om. Release the hand and continue. Om. Now we can go on to the happy face breathing for 1 or 2 minutes, and then we will go straight into the spinal alignment. So close your eyes, bring your awareness to the throat, and continue with the happy face breathing. Okay, so now you can go on to the spinal alignment.
Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, gently bring the ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and bring the other ear down to the shoulder. Inhale and come back. And continue. As you come back, exhale and look over one shoulder. Inhale and come back. Exhale and look over the other shoulder. Inhale and come back. Continue. As we come back, and with the next inhalation, take your head backwards. Exhale and bring the chin down to the chest. Inhale and head backwards. Exhale and chin down to the chest. And continue. As we come down, we'll do the 360-degree neck rotations. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue in the same direction. As we come back to the center, let's switch directions. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now move to the next exercise and we'll alternate shoulders. Inhale and lift up one shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. Inhale and lift up the other shoulder. Exhale, rotate and bring it back down. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now move to the hand exercises. Stretch your hands and keep them straight. As you inhale, open out your palms and keep them perpendicular to the forearm. As you exhale, thumbs in and fists down. Inhale, exhale. Continue. As we come down, let's do the fist rotations. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. As we come back to the center, let's switch directions. Inhale for half a circle and exhale the other half. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's bring our elbows in line with the shoulders. Open out your palms and move your wrists up and down as we inhale and exhale. Continue. As we come back down, we'll switch directions. Inhale and exhale. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's interlock our hands and place them behind the head. As you exhale, turn to one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and turn the other side. Inhale and come back. And continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get our elbows above the head. As you exhale, pull on one elbow. Inhale and come back. Exhale and pull on the other elbow. Inhale and come back. And continue. Feel the stretch along your shoulder blades as you do this. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get hold of our elbows behind the back. As you exhale, turn to one side. Inhale and come back. Exhale and turn the other side. Inhale and come back. Continue. Relax as you come back. For the next exercise, let's get hold of our hands on either side of the spine. As you inhale, push back on one side, making a backward arch. Exhale and come back. Inhale and push on the other side. Exhale and come back. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do both shoulders together. Inhale and lift up both your shoulders. Exhale, push back, rotate and bring it back down. Inhale and exhale and continue. Relax as you come back. Now move to the next exercise and cross one leg over the other and hold the knee with your interlocked hand. Exhale and pull up the leg and turn to the same direction as the leg you're holding. Inhale and release. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. Feel the stretch along your thighs as you do this. As you come back down, we'll switch to the other leg. Exhale, pull and turn. Inhale and release. And continue. Relax as you come back. We'll now do the cycling exercise. 5 counts on each leg. Inhale and bring up the leg. Exhale and stretch it out in a cycling motion. 2, 3, 4, and 5. We'll switch to the other leg. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Relax as you come back. We'll do a minute of Anulom Vilom or the alternate nostril breathing and move to Bhastrika Pranayama. So for the alternate nostril breathing, we exhale and inhale through the same nostril. So if you begin your first inhalation with the left nostril, you exhale and inhale through the right nostril. Close your right nostril. Exhale And inhale through the left nostril. Close your left nostril, alternate and continue. As you complete the breath, we'll move to Bhastrika Pranayam. And since there's nobody new today, we'll just move into the pranayam. We'll do one round as we have time probably for just one round today. I'll keep count of the inhalation and exhalation. We'll do this to a count of 20 and visualize the vitality of the breath as we inhale and exhale. And we'll do this keeping our eyes closed. When you're ready, inhale, exhale. 2, exhale. 3, exhale. 4, exhale. 5, exhale. 6, exhale. 7, exhale. 8, exhale. 9, exhale. 10, exhale. 11. Exhale. 12. Exhale. 13. Exhale. 14. Exhale. 15. Exhale. 16. Exhale. 17. Exhale. 18. Exhale. 19. Exhale. 20. And exhale. Keep your eyes closed. Relax. Observe any sensations within.
Keeping your eyes closed, as your sensations are dissipating, tell yourself, I give up all ideas and concepts and I care about nothing. If you have a personal mantra, you can chant that in your mind. If not, we will be playing Om, and you can think of Om. Use whatever mudra works for you. Keeping your eyes closed, affirm to yourself, may I be guided to fulfill the purpose for which I was born. With that, bring both the palms in front of your face, about 6 inches in front. Open your eyes and look directly into the palm of your hand. Thank you, everyone. Happy Thanksgiving to people who celebrate, and we'll
Happy
see you
Thanksgiving.
tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you, girls. Thank you,
Thank you.
ladies.
Thank you.
Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank
Happy-
you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving to all of you. Happy Thanksgiving.